Hello, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to my series of installing applications on my Kubernetes cluster using KS3 and 3 mini PCs. Now, in step 6 here, we're going to install AdGuard, and we're going to use the single IP that we configured in Metal LB in step 4, where we set up a config file that had a pool from 20 to 29 and then created a single IP .53. Now we're going to use .53 for AdGuard. So the first thing we're going to do here is log into our controller and then cd into our .cube directory and create a config file or a YAM file, YAML file, whatever you want to call it, called AdGuard. And it'd be good if I put VI in front and then hit enter, and then let's go ahead and copy some stuff into it. All right, so here's our config file for AdGuard. Now again, go down in the description below and there'll be a link for all this information. So here you can see here we are assigning our IP to AdGuard, which is .53 here. Now in here, when you initially log into AdGuard, you have to start a port. You have to use port 3000, and then you can switch it over to 80. And if that doesn't work, we'll keep it at 3. I'll uninstall this and keep it at 3000, because you always can use traffic to force a domain name to go to port 3000. So we really don't have to put it on port 80, but we'll give it a whirl and see if we can put it on port 80. Right now here is persistent, right? We have to make sure it's persistent. So if we power it down, shut it down, and turn it back up, we don't lose our AdGuard configuration. So we have to make everything persistent. And we also have to set some permissions for these files here so AdGuard can write to them. So let's go ahead and save this. All right, so that's done. All right, so now if we cat this, scroll down here. All right, these files have not been made yet because we haven't applied this stuff. We haven't applied this, you see here, we haven't applied the configuration yet, which we're going to do next. So again, we're just going to create its own I could have did a I'm not sure what other command you can do. I should bring you right back to the directory that you left from, what you did. So next is we're going to apply our config. We're not going to apply it. The first thing we're going to create is a namespace, and then we're going to apply it. So hit the magic apply command. And now we have it. All right. So now we need to confirm if it has the proper IP. And we do that by using this set of commands. So we see it's running. And now let's confirm the IP address. And it took 53. So which what we wanted. So there, now we know it seems to be working. So now let's go ahead and open up a browser and go to this IP. So let's go to the duck. Well, let's see if this works. So we'll go HTTP to the IP address 53.3000. Okay. Yes. So we know that's working now. Now we have to go through this setup here, which shouldn't take too long. We're going to hit the get started. Now here, you always can change this to 3000, then you still can use 3000. But let's give it a roll at 80 and see if it works with that config that we did. So let's hit next again. Now let's put our username in. All right, so we create our username and password, and we hit the next button. See, we're in step 4 of 5. Just is telling you how to set up your host and stuff like that. So don't really have to worry about that. We're going to hit next. And now we're going to head and open the dashboard. Now we're going to put our username and password in. Now we open up our username and password, and now we get this screen here. All right. This is the current DNS it's using, and this is my other Kubernetes system. But again, if you go down in the description, you'll get a link to all my Kubernetes steps here. And what we want to do here is by going to my link, you'll come up to this page, something similar to this. This is not completed yet. And then here, you can click on this link here, and this is a whole bunch of DNS servers that you can use, and gives you a description of them, whether or not they log stuff, and what they block, if anything, or they're just wide open. It's a massive amount of list of DNS servers that you can use with AdGuard. Also, in here you'll see a link to overview of AdGuard. That's a great review. It gives you general information and everything, so have a read on these. But let's continue now, because now we want to create a domain name that allows us to connect to our traffic dashboard and our AdGuard dashboard. So we can go in here, go to filters, go to DNS rewrites, and now we can add our local domain if we want to. So in this case here, we're going to do okay, hit save. Now let's add our AdGuard one. Now we're going to see if it works this way here. If not, we can use traffic as as our ingress router, and then route it using traffic. And so now we have those two set up. Go back to our dashboard. Now I got to set up this PC to point to this IP address so we can use those domain names. All right, so here we're going to just go ahead and take this, and then we'll put in, oh boy, 53, hit save. I lost my mouse. Move this out of the way. And then, let's see who's actually using it. Let me open up another browser here. There we go. It's using it now. So now, let's see if we can get to our traffic here. Oh, I have this in an Etsy host, so let me go pause the video and remove it from the Etsy host. Well, not Etsy host, the Windows host file. Now I'm running this as administrator, so I think it's what, drivers? Now, this should fail. Okay, we expected that to fail. And that should not fail. So you can see my problem here, right? It's a dot, it should be K. So let's go ahead and fix that. Hit the magic save button. Let's double check this. All right, that's right. All right, now let's put in our dashboard. Now remember from the last video, we always ended with a slash, and now it came there. Now let's see if the AdGuard page will work. If not, we got to do something else. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Ah, look at all my usernames there, right? There we go. So that's working. So if we put this on 3000, we would need to set up a separate config file for traffic to say when you type in just this, it goes to port 3000. So we didn't change the setting from 80 to 3000. We just left it at 3000. We would have to put 3000 on the end of this to get to the place. But since we changed that to the port 80, we just need to do the domain name, which we did. You see here I'm using home ARPA domain to get all of this. So now what you have to do is you go to all your devices, wherever ones you have static, change them, point to .53, go into your router, any DHCP setting that you have, and you change it to the IP address of the AdGuard, which is .53, and there. Now you have it. Now we're done here. You see, let's redo filters here. Oh, let me show you something here. Queries. Now, the reason why I did rewrite is because it's color coded. So watch this. So any local domain with this in it will be blue. In this case here, blue. Right? And blocked are going to be a reddish. It's probably more so. You probably can see more so in dark mode. Let's try dark mode. When the hell is dark mode? Go back dash. Go down here. Right, here's dark mode. So we got dark mode. Let's hit refresh. So we got 20 blocked. Top domains that we queried. DNS, how many times it went to this one. This is what I think .9.9.9.9 something like that. And this is my Kubernetes, one of the worker nodes. Here's your delay, and here are top blocked sites. All right, and then here you'll have a list of all the IPs that hit this box from your internal domain here, and it'll start to fill up once you change everything over to point to this DNS. So let's go ahead and go back to the query here. So what you can, another cool thing you can do with this is you can click on these individual IPs, right? So let's just click on this one, and you can see where it went to. All right, we can click and see the IP here is so you can see where it went to. So now let's go back and clear this out. And now here, since we set up rewrites, you'll see your home domain, in this case here, home.arpa, in blue. These are successful dips. Again, your home. And here is blocked. You see it's all right there, so you can see it all right here. And these are successful. So now you have AdGuard set up. Now, Let's go back to settings, go back to filters. Let's go to rewrites. And you can see what I did here. This is D1. Let's do my firewall again, right? So we're going to call it the wall dot home dot ARPA, and then we'll put the IP address in, and then now we hit that, and now we should be able to go to this. Let's go see what it brings us to, if anything. Oh yeah, it's going to go. Okay, so it's going to go to my firewall. So there it is. Now I just have to sign in and go to it. Now don't forget to set your firewall up with your local domain, which I will do here shortly, but not in this video here because you don't need to see it. So you see how to add that. Now let's add in another DNS. So let's go here to this. And you see here, you can read what some of these do here. Right, this one here, DNS servers with custom filtering that protects your device from malware. So you can just put one of these IP addresses in. Non-filtering, open DNS. Clean browsing, use one of these. Right? Let's new start DNS. Okay, we got one. So here's Cloudflare, right? Cloudflare. Free, fast DNS servers which functions as recursive name server, providing domain name resolution from any host on the internet. You can put all ones in, or you can do it over TLS. So you can put all this in. This is pretty quick. You can use that. Here's one, malware and adult content blocking. Put that in there. Now let's go ahead and add this one in here, but we're going to do TLS, right? So we're going to take this, copy it, go to settings, DNS settings, put it down here. All right. Now it's got a small examples down here. We're going to keep it load balanced. Now for backup domain, it's a case all these craps fail. We'll go to our Cloudflare. Leave this the way it is. All right, now we can test and see special DNS servers are working correctly. We have to hit apply, scroll all the way down, and hit save configuration. Now we'll just leave everything else the same. Let's go back to dark mode. All right. So I added this customer in here. Let's hit the dashboard and let's hit refresh. Haven't gone anywhere. You can see it hasn't used that domain yet. I haven't done anything. So let's go ahead and go to my, oh, no wonder why. That's the wrong one. Let's refresh this one. And there you have it. So there you have it. So now we can see it's going here. This will start to wane off after a while. Now, if you haven't hit one of these in a while, it'll disappear anyway. So let's hit that again. All right, let's bring in another IP address here. I'm going to go to one of my other servers, or there, it popped in. There it is. It popped in. All right. So now my Ubuntu box is using my AdGuard for DNS. All right. So there you have it. We set up AdGuard. We set up our home domain here, local domain. A lot of people like using .local, but there is an RFC to use home.arpa as your local domain name. Or if you own a domain name, you can probably use that. If you own your own domain name, use that internal too and external. I think I'll provide a link to the RFC in the description or in one of these steps that I have, most likely in step 6. You can read about using home ARPA as your local domain name. All right. And what else did we do? We added a DNS. So you can add multiple here. I don't know if there's a limit. You got to read it. I never read it. I'm probably just going to add 1 or 2 more for its and giggles. And leave everything else the same. Now, if we want to, we can add another one here. Or then you have to save the whole config. All right, so now we're good here. Like I said, you can add as many. I don't know if there's a limit, but you guys can figure that out by reading the documentation, which will provide a link on my site. So have a chance, go in the description, look for the link, click it, review it, read it, live it. Okay, this brings us to the end of the video. But in the next videos or next steps, we're going to install Uptime Kuma and an application called Homepage. So stay tuned for those. So with that, I hope you have a healthy and wonderful day.